Let's begin. Number 1. The Canals of Mars. For 30 years, the world was told that Mars was a living planet, home to an ancient civilization, slowly dying and crisscrossed by a vast network of canals. And the man behind it was one of the most respected astronomers in America. His observatory would go on to discover Pluto. He mapped hundreds of these canals, watched them darken with the Martian seasons like ripening crops, and marked the oases where they crossed. There is just one problem. Not a single one of those canals is real. So where did the whole idea begin? Back in 1877, an Italian astronomer, Giovanni Schiaparelli, became the first to record faint, straight markings on the planet's face. Lowell took those markings and built an entire civilization upon them. But as telescopes grew sharper, other astronomers turned them on Mars and saw none of it. At the very edge of what the human eye can resolve, there is nothing but a scatter of faint, disconnected specks. And the brain, straining for order, links those specks into clean, continuous lines. The canals were not on the planet. They were assembled inside Lowell's own eye. And when spacecraft finally reached Mars, they found a cratered, frozen desert, silent and still. So if the lines were an illusion, where did the word canals come from at all? It goes back to Schiaparelli, and to what he called those first faint markings. He named them canali. In Italian, canali means channels or grooves, shapes cut by nature. In English, canali became canals. And a canal, unlike a groove, is a thing that has to be dug. An entire Martian civilization conjured out of a single mistranslated word. Number 2. The shape of the mind. For most of the 1800s, an expert could read your entire character from the shape of your skull. It was called Phrenology, and serious, educated people swore by it, filling lecture halls and learned journals. At its height, people paid to have their heads read before being hired, before marrying, before being trusted with money. A stranger's fingers on your scalp could shape your career, your marriage, and your good name. The whole system came from a respected anatomist, Franz Joseph Gall. Gall carved the mind into dozens of separate faculties, for kindness, for greed, for courage. Each one, he claimed, swelled the skull into a bump a trained hand could feel right through the skin. It swept across Britain and America as the science of human nature. And it was twisted into something darker, dressed up as proof that some races and classes were born inferior. So how did such nonsense take hold? Because, hidden inside it, Gall had stumbled onto something true. He was the first to insist the mind lives in the brain, not the heart, and that different parts of the brain do different jobs. That single idea, stripped of the skull reading, became a cornerstone of modern neuroscience. His fatal error was the rest of it. He assumed the bone on the outside must echo the brain on the inside. It does not. The skull has a shape all its own, and the bumps on your head are just bumps. Number 3. Planet Vulcan. For over 50 years, astronomers were certain the solar system held one more planet. A world you have never heard of, hidden in the sun's glare. And dozens of respected observers swore they had watched it cross the sun's face. They even gave it a name, Vulcan. The hunt was started by Urbain Le Verrier, a man with the best track record in astronomy. Years earlier, from nothing but the wobble of Uranus, he had calculated exactly where an unseen planet must be. Telescopes turned, and there sat Neptune, almost precisely on his mark. So when Mercury's orbit began to drift in a way Newton's gravity could not explain, everyone trusted Le Verrier to find the cause. He reached for the same trick, another hidden planet, this time between Mercury and the Sun. A country doctor reported a dark dot crossing the Sun, and Le Verrier declared Vulcan real. For decades, more sightings trickled in, though no two of them ever agreed. And no one could find it again to order. Every careful search of that patch of sky came back empty. The answer arrived in 1915 from Albert Einstein, and it was not a planet at all. Mercury's drift was real, but its cause was buried in gravity itself. Close to the Sun, Einstein showed, space and time bend. And that bend nudges Mercury's orbit by exactly the amount that was missing. They had spent 50 years hunting an object in the sky. The real answer was a flaw in the law of gravity. And once Einstein found it, Vulcan simply faded from the textbooks. Number 4. The spark of life. For centuries, chemists believed the universe held two completely separate kinds of matter, the dead chemistry of rocks and metals, and the living chemistry of plants and animals, powered by a mysterious spark of life. The rule seemed absolute. The chemistry of life could only ever come from life itself. And then, in 1828, a young chemist shattered that rule completely, entirely by accident. Friedrich Wöhler had set out to make a dull, ordinary salt. He gently heated his ingredients and waited for it to appear. But the crystals that formed in the dish were the wrong ones, and he recognized them instantly. It was urea, the waste your own body flushes out in urine. He had built a molecule of life out of plain dead chemistry without meaning to. No kidney, no creature, no living spark, only a flask and a little heat. He wrote to a friend that he could now make urea without the help of a kidney, man or dog. The wall between the living and the lifeless had a door in it all along. The same chemistry runs through a stone, a flask, and you. Number 5. The fluid called heat. For decades, the finest scientists alive agreed that heat was a liquid, an invisible, weightless fluid called caloric, which you could pour from one body into another. The idea was elegant. Caloric flowed out of hot things and into cold ones, like water finding its level. It was so convincing that even Lavoisier, the father of modern chemistry, ranked caloric among the elements of the universe. Then Count Rumford watched cannon barrels being bored in a Munich arsenal. The drilling poured out heat without end, enough to boil the water around it. And it kept coming, even with a tool too blunt to cut anything away. If heat was a fluid stored in the metal, where was this endless supply coming from? There was no fluid. The heat came from the motion, from the grinding itself. Decades later, James Joule proved it with a falling weight that stirred water warmer. Heat, it turned out, is simply energy in motion, and you cannot pour it from a jug. Number 6. The last of the magicians. We think of Isaac Newton as the coldest, clearest mind in all of science. The man who gave us gravity, the laws of motion, and a universe running like clockwork on pure mathematics. But behind that marble reputation, Isaac Newton kept a secret that would have stunned the Royal Society, and one that stayed buried for over 200 years. Away from the public eye, the father of modern reason was a practicing alchemist. For decades, in secret, he hunted the philosopher's stone, the key to turn base metal into gold and unlock eternal life. In fairness, alchemy was respectable then, the rough ancestor of chemistry. But he also decoded the Bible for hidden prophecies, and worked out the world would not end before the year 2060. Weigh up his private papers, in fact, and the physics is the smaller heap. It all surfaced in 1936, when his secret papers were finally auctioned off. The economist John Maynard Keynes bought a stack of them and began to read. Newton, he concluded, was not the first scientist of the age of reason. He was the last of the magicians. But here is what we get wrong about him. To Newton, none of this was a contradiction. Gravity, alchemy, the prophecies of the Bible, to him, it was all one search for the single hidden code he believed God had written into creation. He was not a man of reason dabbling in magic. He saw no line between them at all. Like and subscribe if you want more videos like these. Every claim you have just heard has its references and further reading in the description. Cheers.